What's up guys, it's Carter, and today I'm going to be seeing if these oldest Speedcubes can still compete with Speedcubes in 2021. Today I'm going to be comparing the GAN Air SM, the WRM 2019, and the Valk 3M. Let's get into it. Now, how are these cubes still relevant today? Despite being pretty old, they're still loved by professional solvers. The Angstrom Valk 3M has the 3x3 NAR single of 4.24 by Patrick Ponce. The GAN Air SM has the 3x3 OH world record average and world record single by Max Park. And the Waylong WRM 3x3 has the European record average and single by Timon, of course. Now, in the past, these cubes have actually been pretty dominant. Mats Valk broke the 3x3 world record single with 4.74 on the Valk 3, and then later Felix beat it by 0.01 on the GAN Air SM. And the Waylong WRM is named after Yu Shengdu's 3x3 world record single, although the record wasn't actually set on the cube. Now, on to some basic specs about the cubes. Now, the original non-magnetic Valk 3 was released in the summer of 2016. This puzzle is 55.5 millimeters, which is a reference to Mats Valk's first world record of 5.55 3x3 single. The magnetic version was released in 2019, and the magnetic version is 85 grams. Moving on, the GAN Air SM was released in 2017, but here I have the GAN Air SM 2019 version, and if you're wondering, yes, I'm calling 2019 old. I started cubing in 2019, so to me, these cubes are ancient. This puzzle is 56 millimeters, and as the name implies, it's pretty light, and this puzzle is 75 grams, which is really light at the time. Finally, we have the Waylong WRM 3x3. This puzzle was released in 2019. It's 55.5 millimeters, and it weighs 90 grams. All these puzzles you can get at thecubicle.com, and you can get even less if you use code KTK at checkout to not only get a discount, but to also support my channel. Now let's compare how these puzzles turn. So starting off with the WRM, this puzzle has a pretty iconic feel. The turning is crispy and fast, and depending on how you set this puzzle up, it has a really nice sound. The feel of this puzzle is pretty iconic, and I really like how this puzzle feels. It kind of gives me nostalgia to when I was solving in 2020 in quarantine. This was my main for a couple of months from about August until October or something like that. And yeah, the Worm 2019 has a great feel. Moving on to the Valk, this puzzle's turning is really blocky and crunchy. As for the sound, the only problem I have with it is it can be really loud depending on how you turn. I'm a pretty aggressive turner, so that may be why. However, if you do turn aggressively, this cube will complement your turning style. Moving on to the SM, this cube has a smooth and a bit of a crunchy feel. Out of the three, this cube is definitely the quietest. It has a really nice low-pitched sound. And the feel of this puzzle is very unique. However, people say that the original SM was better than the SM 2019, since the SM 2019 was a bit floppier. Now, I have not tried the original SM, but I currently have my SM on the tightest possible settings, and I don't have much of a problem with it. Now, as for the tensioning systems, out of these three cubes, the Valk is the only one with a spring and screw system, but I actually really like spring and screws, since it's really simple and doesn't get too complicated. However, for something like the WRM, it's not just spring and screw, but there is an added feature of customizability that is really easy to use. This is Moi's dual adjustment system that they've been using in cubes since the GTS3. The GTS3 had 8 possible settings to adjust, but the WRM has 9 settings. I really like this system since you can adjust the spring compression, and it's very creative. Now, the GAN tensioning system is one of their GES systems. I don't even know since they have so many at this point, but I believe I have mine on the yellow nut, and I have the tensions pretty tight. Now, the WRM and the GAN SM both have spring compression systems and a tensioning system, which I really like. However, GAN's tensioning system is a bit more complex, so I prefer the WRM's tensioning system. One reason I'm making this video is because all the cubes I'm showing here, they actually have new versions being released. For the GAN SM, it's pretty much every new GAN 3x3 since 2017, but there have been new GAN Air puzzles like the GAN 11 Air and the GAN Air M. For the Valk 3M, they had the Valk Power and the Valk Elite, and finally for the WRM, there's the WRM 2020, WRM 2021, and a cube that's coming out very soon, the WRM 2021 Maglev. Now, should you get any of these cubes? Well, I'm going to start out by knocking the SM off the list. I'm taking the SM off of the list of cubes to get because A, modern cubes are just better, and B, for $40, you're not really going to get much. The SM is good if you're a collector, however, if you're looking for a new main, the SM probably isn't it. Now, as for the Valk, it depends your turning style. If you have a really soft and smooth turning style, I wouldn't recommend the Valk, but if you have a really aggressive turning style like me, I would recommend the Valk. However, the Valk can be a bit difficult to set up, at least in my opinion, so if you can, make sure to get a premium version. But yeah, the Valk is a very solid puzzle. The magnets aren't too too strong, which I like, and the tensioning system isn't too complicated. Now, my number one recommendation would be the WRM. The WRM, in my opinion, is the most iconic cube. It has a really nice feeling. Even though new releases like the WRM 2020 and 2021 are now out, the WRM 2019 is a timeless cube. The turning style never gets old, it barely locks up, and I love this cube so much. Many professional solvers use the 2019 over 2020 and 2021 versions, so that's definitely saying something. However, if you're a casual solver like me, I use the Celeritas WRM 2021 as my main, but I do occasionally use the WRM 2019. And in the process of making this video, I've actually done a bunch of solves on the WRM 2019, and I'm getting back into loving this cube. I've been averaging low 8, which is really cool, and the WRM 2019 is just so fun to solve on. However, the magnets are on the light side, so if you prefer strong magnets, you can get extra magnets to put in the edges. That gives the puzzle a stronger magnet strength. When it came out, this puzzle was being compared to the GTS3 in the sense that it was just a GTS3 with lighter magnets and no ridges, and I can definitely see that. But yeah, even with new 3x3s being released each month, I think that the WRM 2019 and the Valk 3M are still worth getting in 2021, and the GAN Air SM maybe if for collection purposes. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next time. Oh yeah, and if you want to get